Hi, I'm Sally and this is my tutorial for my gecko. For him you will need 188 bands of whatever colour you like for his body and his tail and his feet, and 2 black bands for his eyes. So let's make a start. First we're going to make his tail. So you loom in this configuration, the arrows pointing towards you, and we are taking 3 bands, whatever colours you want. I'm using a metallic-y green colour and then just 2 lighter green opaque bands, and you're just putting them over your loom like this, and we're going to go down a total of 7 times. So you can use all the same colour or mix them up if you wish. Just depends on how you want your little gecko or lizard to look. That's 4, 5, 6, and 1 more, 7. So 3 bands down your loom 7 times. Then we're going to do 5 with 2 bands. So 2 bands together, working down your loom, and that should take you to the end of your loom. Excuse me. So that's the end of the 2 bands. So you've got bands going all the way down your loom, 7 times with the 3 bands and 5 times with 2. And then we're going to make the end of his tail. So we're going to take our hook, and whichever colour you want to be, right at the very end of his tail, and you're going to wrap it around your hook 3 times. So you have it like this. Then you're going to take a single band, stretch it, twist it over and back onto your fingers, hook that on and slide this band over and on, and then hook it back. Oops. And then the same again, stretch it, twist it and slide it over, like so. And we're going to do this for a total of 4. And 1 more. So you've got the band that you wrapped around your hook, and you've got 4 bands that have been doubled over onto themselves, and that's the end of your gecko's tail. And then we're placing this over the very last pin on your loom, where you put the last of the 2 bands. So it's just down here. And then we're going to start to loop. So you push that bit out that you've just put on and loop up the 2 bands, and you're going to work all the way up your loom. And using the different thickness of bands and different quantity of bands will just give it so it sort of goes down into a taper. So it'll start thick at his body and then work thin down to the tip. Just get a bit more difficult when you get to the 3 bands, but it's not too bad. You're working all the way up, and you should have teardrop shapes all the way up and no loose bands underneath. Mine have started coming off the pegs a bit, but you can see there's no bands underneath. And we're just going to take this off and place it on a holding hook, or if you're happy just to leave it, just to set it aside, then do. And there we go, tail. And then we're going to do his feet. So again, we're taking a band, we're wrapping it round 3 times, like so. So you can see there's 4 bits of band. Taking a single band, double it onto itself, and sliding this band onto it. So it looks like this, and we're going to make another 3 of these. So twist it round, stretch it, twist it, move it on itself, sizing it on. And wrapping it around itself. Doubled band. And strap outside. There, it's gone now. There we go. Last one. Wrap it around. Stretch your band. Double it on itself. Put on your finger. And over. So when you have all 4 toes, they look like this. And then you're taking double bands, so 2 bands together. They stuck together here. Placing that on the end of your hook. Hold it with your finger, and you're sliding each one of these onto that band. Like so, and then hook it back on itself. Centre them, and there we go. Now if you want your gecko's feet to be smaller, like this one, or quite little, then you can just leave them like this and then thread the other bands through. I'm going to do mine slightly bigger, so mine have got this wrapped band in there, which I'll show you how to do. But if you want to keep them smaller, then just leave this bit out. So we're going to take this bit off of the hook so it's just hanging, and then we're going to take 2 bands and we're going to put them together and loop them together twice, so it's quite big. Hook those 2 ends on, and then take double bands again, 2 bands together, and we're going to pull all of the bands that are on your hook over and onto those double bands, like so. So that's what you should have if you're making the bigger foot. And then we're going to add in another 3 lots of double bands. So taking whichever bands you want, the ones you have 2, over your hook and sliding them over and then back onto your hook, like so. Another 2 bands, hold them on your finger, over and back on, and then another 2 bands, oh excuse me, and there we go, a little leg. You will need 4 of these, so if you pause the video and make another 3, and then when you've done that we can start on the body. So I'm going to take my loom, and I'm going to place double green bands and just hang them over there onto that top middle pin, and then we're going to take double bands again whichever colours you want. And we're going from this top centre peg to the top side peg, and same on the other side, using whichever colour bands you want. And then we're going down each side. Down here we are going down twice, double bands, down twice, and then the same on the other side. So you should have it like this, and then we're going to go down the centre to this pin here. Same with double bands, whichever colour combination you want to use, whichever colours you want to use. My bands are stuck together. And there we go. The way down, so you should have 3 lots of bands down. And then we're going to close it off. We're going to go from this peg to this peg and this peg to this peg. Double bands. This is all double bands. And there is your gecko's head. Not looking much like a gecko head, but it is. And we're going to do his neck. So again, double bands, and you're going just straight. And then we're going to do his shoulders, so from this pin out, and then from this pin out again. 2 bands. Out. Same the other side. And then we are going down a total of 6 using double bands. So 6 times down each side. And there are lots of colour combinations you can do with this, lots of designs you can do. You can make him stripy, you could tweak him so that he's a different kind of lizard. You can use a red band, you could use 2 red bands here and then leave them so it's like his tongue is sticking out. So many different possibilities you could do with this design. And then we're going from this pin here to this bottom middle pin. It would be lovely to see what you come up with. Same down the other side. I am on Instagram, so if you'd like to share your photos with me of different variations on this design and different colour combinations and things, that would be lovely. You can find me at Sally's Loom. It'd be nice to see what you come up with. And also, if you do any of my other tutorials, it'd be nice to see what you come up with those as well. This is quite an easy design. I think so anyway. And again, diagonally to here. And then we're going to fill in the centre. We're going to go straight down with double bands. You could use beads as well, add beads in. Possibly rolled bands if you wanted, if you have the time to do it. Kind of restricted time wise because my children take up my time. But when I do, I like to try and use different patterns and just tweak them a little bit so they're a little bit different. And I have lots of ideas, so there'll be lots of new tutorials coming up soon when I get the time to do them, of course. And this should be what it looks like when it's finished. So once you're at this stage, you're going to add the tail on to this end pin here, and this will act like a cat band to work through. So we're going to hang that on there, and then we're going to add in the front legs onto these 2 pins here, this one and this one. So this is the 5th pin down on each side. So front legs are going on there. So stretch them over and put them on. And then the back legs we're putting on the 4th pin from the bottom. And I am doing the rear of this gecko slightly differently to the other one I have. I'm hoping it's going to look slightly more slender, because this on here, as you can see, it looks quite rounded. So I'm hoping this is going to be more slender. And then we are going to add on the eyes. Nearly forgot them, but we have eyes. So 2 single black bands, wrap them around your hook 3 times individually, like so, and then taking a single green band, put it on your hook, hold it with your finger and slide the eyes on, like that. And then we're putting this right on the top 2 pegs here, so his eyes are right at the front of his head. If you want them lower down, then put them lower down. If you want them more in the middle of his head, then you could use the 2nd peg down. And there we go. So that's everything on our gecko now. So it should look like this, with his arms, with his front legs, back legs and tail and eyes. And then we're going to put on some triangular bands to help to hold him all together. If you want him to be slimmer, then you can double the bands over, I'll show you. So you go over your 3 bands, twist it over and then double it back onto itself, like that, if you want it really tight and really slim. I am not going to do that. I'm going to leave him a little bit more chubby, and I'm just pulling that one over that bottom one, so that one's a diamond. And then we're going to go triangles all the way up his body, just covering the 3 pins all the way up, like this. And yeah, that should do it. So we're going all the way up, but not here. And then we're going to put some 2 on his head. So I'm going to push these bands down, and we're going like that on his head and on the next one up. And that will be all the horizontal bands you need. And then we're going to start to loop. So we're going to go in through his tail, push his tail back with the back of your hook, and take the top 2 bands. For me, they're going to go forwards, and loop them forwards, and that will help to hold your tail on as well. And then take the next 2 that are at the top and tip them over. Mine's going to the left, and then the other 2 to the right. So you should have, tail's going curly, you should have this sort of shape here with teardrops. If they're not teardrops and they look a bit sort of a strange teardrop shape, then you just need to work out which pin they do need to go to. It just means you hooked it on the wrong pin, but it's easily sorted. So then go in, and we're going to hook all the way up his body, up to this point here above his shoulders, but not his neck just yet. And we're pushing down and going round, and then going in through his leg, and in through all the triangle bands, taking the bottom 2 and hooking over, and working our way all the way up, like this. then going in through his front leg, finding those 2 bottom bands and then hooking on to the bottom neck band. So you're going all the way from his tail, all the way up to this one here. And then we're going to do the middle and the other side. Some people find this quite tedious, looping it all up, but I find it quite relaxing. I quite enjoy doing it. I don't know why. Just do. But I can see why people would find it boring. And then we're going to do the last column, pushing everything back, kissing the bottom 2 and hooking them up. And if your bands do get a little bit tight around wherever, around the legs, just take your hook and just run it round like that, and it will help to loosen them up and less likely for them to break. Make sure you're pushing all your horizontal bands out of the way with the back of your hook. Like that, and in through the leg, getting those bottom 2 bands, and then hooking them over carefully like that. And there we go, that's his body all hooked up. If you need to pause it, then please do, until you're caught up a little bit. And if you are at this stage, then we'll carry on. We're going in through all these bands, all the way down to the bottom, and getting those bottom 2 bands of his neck, which you might find quite difficult and quite tight, because there's a lot of bands on that pin. So you can just go around the pin like that. And then we're going in through this one, taking the top, if I can get them, the top 2 bands, and pulling them whichever way they need to go. Mine are going towards the left, and then towards the right, I think. Yep, towards the right, and then straight forward. So again, you've got this sort of fan shape with the proper little teardrop shapes. And then we're going to hook all the way up to his nose. And now we're nearly there. Nearly finished. And I hope you're getting on okay. You're not struggling too much with these bands. Like that. And there we go. That's what his head should look like when it's all looped up. You should have no loose bands underneath. She'll be looped forward. And once you get to this stage, you're ready to take him off of the loom. So taking your 2 bands here, pull them out, go straight down through his nose, and hook those 2 bands up. You can hear my daughter singing in the background. And make a slip knot, like that. So you're pulling the 2 bands that you first put on your hook over the ones that you put on last. And once he's tied off, you can remove him, and he's done. Now we just take him off. You can just rip him off if you're happy to do that. I'm a little bit more cautious, but you should be fine. Head, looking them all off, looking a bit more lizard-like now, and then the very last one, just loop him up, and there you have your gecko. You should find that his eyes on one side push through more than the other, so obviously on that side that's the bottom, you've got the top there. just give him a little tug, get him into shape, get him straight. And if you want to use him as a charm and you want to hang him, then you can leave the bands out, or you can tuck them under. So if you take your hook, go through some of the bands, hook them round, pull them through, and then just keep doing this so they're all tucked in and all hidden out the way. Like so. There we go. And there is your gecko. His feet don't look too big, and I think it looks quite cute. So, hope you've enjoyed making it. So please like, subscribe, comment, any suggestions, anything you'd like to see me make and have a tutorial for, and I will do my best for you. As I say, I'm also on Instagram at Sally's Looming, so please find and follow me on there. And that's that. So thanks for watching, and bye bye.